Finally, we have a good one. Yes! What's up, H fam? It's your boy Double H, and welcome back to H and Friends. I'm your host, Double H, and thank you so much for returning to the H and Friends YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the new horror film Talk to Me, which is directed by Danny Philippou and Michael Philippou, and you may know these guys as Raka Raka on YouTube. They are actually very popular on that platform, and they've made multiple short films that I'm sure you guys have seen at least one of them. They're hilarious, they're funny, they're bloody, they're awesome. Anyways, this is their feature film. This is the first film that they've ever made, and so I went into this knowing that, and I was blown away. Sitting throughout this film, you can't tell that it's a first film. It kind of just it fits, you know. It's a film. It's a good horror film. It's really hard to do these days, and they pulled it off for sure. And I'll explain why in a bit, but they really were able to give us horror fans a treat, and that's really good. I'm going to go ahead and leave the first half of this review spoiler-free, and then the second half of this review with spoilers. I'll go ahead and have a disclaimer up on the screen for you guys. That way you can maybe click off if you have not seen the movie yet. All right, for starters, the lead actress, her name is Sophie Wilde. Amazing job. I believe this is the only film she's actually been in, and I believe that she will hopefully be in other films as well soon, because man, does she show her talent in this movie. Very good at showing emotion, very good at showing sadness and fear, if that makes sense. Like she's so wonderful in this movie. Like, it's amazing what she could do. Honestly, that goes for pretty much anybody in this cast list. Like, I can't complain about any actor in this film. This film's acting is quite good for what it is. It's there was not one moment during the film that I cringed because of the acting. Cringed because of other things, but we'll get there in a minute. I feel like the pacing of this movie was actually really well done. It's not too fast, but it's not too slow as well. It's kind of a healthy middle. Keep you on your toes. Scary things happen a lot, but there's also some good, nice story in the middle to kind of fill the gaps, but with the horror. So it kind of, you know, has a full circle, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's really hard to do, especially with a horror film, and especially with horror films these days. I can't remember the last time I saw a good horror film. I think it was Smile was the last okay-ish horror film that I've seen, but I definitely actually liked this film more than I did like Smile. It's just kind of more my route and more my style, I guess. If you're going into this movie to see a possession movie, shit hits the fan, conjuring, fucking crazy, neck twisting, back bending craziness, don't watch it. It's nothing like that. It has those elements, but it's not, I wouldn't consider it a possession movie. It's kind of its own theme, if that makes sense. You've got this story that kind of is very surprising to me, actually, because I thought, you know, it was just going to be a typical horror film where shit goes wrong and boom, it's a horror film. But there's actually a story in this film that, like, really captures emotion and sadness, and it's kind of depressing in a way, but they really show that well in this movie. The premise of this movie, even for starters, like, back when I saw the first trailer, I was like, this is actually a really good idea. This is cool. I love the premise of this movie. The idea, the story's cool, you know, the whole idea of it, which is, you know, group of high school kids at a party, they pull out this cursed hand that they got from a friend, they hold it, they say, "Talk to me," and shit happens, and they record it and post it, and it's addicting almost to these kids. They want to do it more and more and more and more and more and more. And that's not really giving away anything. So if you're like freaking out that I spoiled anything, I didn't. I mean, it shows that in the trailer. You can see that she's like, we need to do it again, blah, blah, blah. But it's, you know, I really think it's cool how they added that element to where, like, these kids kind of can't stay away from it. The feeling they talk about in this movie, the feeling that this hand gives them is addicting. It pulls you in. I felt like that's actually really realistic with today's world, you know, like a lot of us are now in the state, you know, especially like high school, college people, they're easily addicted to some stuff, you know, like whether it be drugs, alcohol, parties, sex, you know, anything. So they kind of take that mentality, but they put it to this hand, and like these kids are like, oh, like they want to do it, you know what I mean, if that makes sense. So I feel like that side of the story is actually really, really cool, how they added that, because it's very, very like relatable, especially with like today's teenagers and stuff, you know. So I feel like a lot of people will get a kick out of that. Another person who I should probably mention who's great in this film is Joe Bird. He plays one of the kids, the younger kids in this movie, and he does a fantastic job with the role he was given. Like you feel bad for this kid. You like this kid, you know. So and I'm not going to give away any more than that, but it's he does a really, really good job with his character, and I feel like his casting was really, really, really smart, and they did a really good job with that. This film had a really good story that kept me hooked. Like the beginning, middle, and end, there was not a part where I was bored, if that makes sense. It's kind of got this halfway between fast and slow. Its pacing is, I think, awesome, as good as it can get, honestly, because there's a lot of scary stuff in this film, but there's also a lot of really cool, heartwarming kind of story elements to this film as well. And it kind of just comes full circle, you know. It's like it's mixed in really well, and that's really, really hard to pull off as a horror writer. And props to these guys for doing that, because it was, there was not one time during this movie I was bored. I was entertained throughout the whole film. It's a huge plus for me, and I feel like that's going to be a huge plus for all of you guys. I feel like maybe the story could have been explained a little more. It kind of dived more deeper into like the origin of the hand and like why it does its thing. That would have been kind of cool, because they kind of just brush on it, you know, so it's not really that explanatory, but you just go with it, you know. It's on the screen, it's believable, so it works. Overall, I thought this was a great film, and I can't complain. This is the part where I'm going to be talking about spoilers, so if you have not seen the film yet, go ahead and click off this video. If you have seen the film yet, go ahead and stay, and I'll tell you what I think about the details and stuff like that. First, to start off with the spoiler talk, there were some scenes in this film that I thought were kind of unnecessarily weird, if that makes sense. Like, there was this part where this guy was doing the hand thing, and he was possessed by this, like, sexual guy, I guess, this demon that like was very horny. I don't know, starts like feeling himself, and then he gets fallen to the floor, and then he starts like humping the floor, and then the dog comes up, licks his face, and then he starts making out with the dog. I mean, it makes sense because like it's a demon, and demons are fucking weird, but like, did you have to go that far for that scene? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it was just kind of unnecessarily weird, you know? Like, it came out of nowhere. Like, it was like, oh, he's humping the floor and making out with a dog. That's really, really weird. And then there was another part where the ghost starts eating Daniel's toes, or, like, sucking on him or something. And then it ends up being Mia, which kind of didn't really make sense. Like, why did they have to do that? You know, they could have done it with his fingers. They could have done it with his face. They could have done it with his, like, pulling his hair, you know, but no, they were, like, sucking his toes, and so she was sucking his toes. And I thought that was just kind of, like, unnecessarily weird, you know? Like, I was like, why add that element? Is it supposed to be funny? And, I mean, I think it was supposed to be funny, and it worked. Like, it was kind of funny, but kind of disturbing at the same time, and maybe that's what they were going for, but I felt like it was kind of over the top, like a kind of just like, oh, okay, that was weird. That didn't need to be in this movie, but all right, you know? I feel like those parts were a little weird, but I mean, other than that, I mean, this movie was great. I feel like the ending was really cool, how they showed her, you know, she committed suicide. She commits suicide. They show her just go through a bunch of, like, fast forward, like, or she's looking at Riley in the hospital getting better. He's looking at her dad, I guess, survived. And stuff like that, and then it goes dark, and then you see a candle. She walks to the candle, grabs the hand, and then it ends up being someone doing the hand on the other side of it, and she's the one they see, so she's stuck there. So I thought that was kind of clever. I thought that was kind of cool. But no, overall, I mean, this film was fantastic. The beginning, the middle, the end, the whole story, it kept me on point. It was these guys definitely know what they're doing, and I'm very excited to see what else these guys actually make, because I really am a big fan already. I was actually a big fan of their YouTube channel. I loved their short films, and And now we get a feature film from them, and it holds up, I feel. I mean, I wasn't disappointed. I came out of the theater enjoying it. And if I had to rate this movie out of 10 stars, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10 stars. I'll probably definitely get this one on DVD or digital, because everything's digital nowadays. It is 2023. Does anybody actually watch DVDs anymore? Like Blu-rays, nothing? I don't know. Anyways, guys, if you liked this review, please leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the movie. If you've seen the film, let me know what you thought. If you haven't seen the film and you want to see this film, let me know down below. Also, I just want to give you guys a huge shout out with the support you guys have been giving me on my last video. I believe it's at like 2.1 thousand views now, and that's just insane. Like, I couldn't thank you guys enough. Like, it's fucking amazing. Like, I'm blown away with the amount of people that actually want to watch my review of a trailer that I saw. Like, but anyways, I just want to let you know that I'm like very grateful, and thank you guys so much for actually watching my videos, and you know, it really means a lot. It really does. Guys, if you liked this video, please leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell so you hear the ding 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 every time I come out with a new video. That's gonna be it for this review. You guys have a great, fantastic night, day, evening, whatever the fuck it is where you're from and when you're watching. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. If not, let me know. Talk to me. I am here for you. Shit, am I getting cursed? Oh fuck, I'm just kidding, guys. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Double H out.